Every woman who has had many husbands eventually does this. A woman who has slept with many men often loses respect for them as individuals. To her, men are no longer unique people with their own stories, but just types she's seen and lived through dozens of times. That's why, in conversation, there's always a trace of arrogance and cynicism in her tone. Instead of a compliment, you'll hear cold sarcasm. You think you're special? Trust me, I've met hundreds like you. Or, all of you are the same. None of you can surprise me. These words aren't always said directly. Sometimes they're disguised as jokes or tests. She might throw lines like, "Oh, here comes the typical male move again. I know how you guys operate. You're sweet at first, then you disappear." And you sit there realizing she talks as if she has long lost the belief that any man could be different from the predictable type she already knows too well. That's the red flag. This kind of superiority doesn't come from nowhere. It's built up over years of experience, through dozens of stories that ended the same way. For her, men are not a value, but a disposable resource. Another clear sign is her reaction to your achievements or plans. Instead of support, she sneers. "So what? Everyone does that." Or she might bluntly say, "I've already seen guys like you. I know exactly how this ends." There's no respect in this behavior, no genuine interest, just constant devaluation, and that says it all. One of the clearest signs that a woman has been with many men is the way she talks about relationships. There's no warmth, no spark of hope in her words. Instead, there's cold cynicism, the kind of detachment that only comes from living through the same cycle too many times. When you mention love, she smirks. "Love? Please. That's just hormones playing tricks on you." Or she'll say with a sharp laugh, "Relationships are just contracts. You give me what I want, I give you what you want. That's all." To her, intimacy isn't connection, it's transaction. Every word, every glance, every touch is calculated. She doesn't talk about trust or loyalty, she talks about control. And if you listen closely, you'll notice how often she frames men as tools, as pawns, as players in her private game. She might casually brag, "I always know how to get what I want from men. If you don't do it, someone else will. There's always another one waiting." This isn't the voice of someone who values commitment. It's the voice of someone who has repeated the same performance so many times, she can no longer see relationships as unique or sacred. Another clue is how she responds to vulnerability. When you share something personal, something heavy, she doesn't comfort you. She studies you. Her eyes sharpen. Her lips curve into that cruel little smirk, and you can almost hear her taking mental notes. Later, those same confessions will come back to you, not as support, but as weapons. "Remember when you told me you're insecure about that? Yeah, I get why. Every guy like you is the same." That's when it hits you. She doesn't just see you. She sees through you, stripping away the individuality of your feelings and stuffing them into the same box where she's thrown all the other men she's been with. To her, relationships aren't about building. They're about breaking, testing, pushing, measuring how much you can endure before you collapse. And that cold cynicism, that sharp edge in her words, is one of the strongest signs. She has been through so many men that connection is no longer real to her. It's just another experiment. One of the strongest signs that a woman has been with many men is the way she treats intimacy. For her, it's not about closeness, not about trust, not about building something special. It's about power. It's about leverage. It's about control. She doesn't see intimacy as a bond. She sees it as a currency. Something to be traded, negotiated, or withheld to get exactly what she wants. You'll notice it in the way she talks. Men are so predictable. Give them what they want, and they'll do anything for you. Or, "If I don't give it to you, someone else will." So maybe you should behave. These aren't just casual comments. They reveal her whole mindset. She's been through so many encounters that the act itself no longer holds any meaning. It's not sacred. It's not unique. It's just another tool in her arsenal. She'll also use it as punishment. If you don't do what she wants, she'll withdraw completely cold and sharp. I'm not in the mood. Maybe if you listened to me for once, I'd feel differently. But if she needs something, attention, money, favors, suddenly she's affectionate again, wrapping herself around you, whispering promises she has no intention of keeping once she gets what she wants. It's not passion, it's manipulation. Another clue is her casual attitude toward experiences. She'll talk about past encounters with a kind of detachment that makes your stomach turn. There's no reverence, no discretion, no sense of intimacy being something private. Instead, she'll smirk and say things like, "Oh, please, everyone does it. Don't act like it's such a big deal." Or even worse, "Honestly, I barely even remember half the guys." That's the mask slipping. That's the cynicism born from repetition, from seeing men not as people, but as placeholders. What cuts deepest is how she uses intimacy against you. She'll study your reactions, notice what makes you vulnerable, and then weaponize it. Later, in a fight, she'll throw it back at you. "You weren't even that good. I've had better." It's not about truth. It's about control, about breaking you down until you feel like just another name on her long, invisible list. And that's the most dangerous part. To her, intimacy is no longer about sharing. It's about scoring. She doesn't connect with men. She counts them. And if you listen closely, you'll hear it in her every word, every smirk, every cold little laugh. When a woman talks about intimacy like this, it's not closeness. It's a weapon, and she knows exactly how to use it. Sometimes, you don't need her to admit anything. You don't need the late-night texts, the suspicious stories, or even the smirk when you catch her in a lie. You just need to watch her, because a woman's everyday behavior can tell you more than she ever will. And when she's been with too many men, it leaves marks not on her body, but on the way she lives, the way she talks, the way she treats the world around her. First, it's in her attitude toward herself. She talks about relationships, intimacy, even love as if none of it matters. She'll shrug, roll her eyes, and say things like, "Everybody does it. It's not that deep. You're the only one who still thinks this stuff means something." Her language is casual, dismissive, careless. For her, things that should be private and intimate are just everyday transactions. She wears her cynicism like armor, but underneath, you can feel the emptiness. Then, it's in how she talks about other women. A woman with too many stories behind her often projects that onto others. She'll gossip, tear down, and mock. She pretends to be innocent, but I know girls like her. She's just as bad as the rest of us. Oh, please, don't act like she's different. We all know what she's been doing. When every other woman is suddenly fake, cheap, or secretly just like her, you can bet she's speaking from experience. She's seen herself in the mirror too many times and can't stand the reflection. But the most telling part is how she treats you. At first, it feels like teasing. Then you notice it never stops. Every word is designed to cut you down, to remind you that you're not special, that you're just another in a long line. "You're not the first guy to tell me that. I've heard it all before. You're not original. Don't flatter yourself. I've seen better." She doesn't say it once. She says it over and over, until you start to feel it deep in your bones, until you begin to wonder if she's right. And it's not just in her words, it's in her habits. She knows exactly how to hide things. She's skilled at controlling her phone, her social media, her schedule. Too skilled. She deletes conversations, clears call logs, uses vague language that can mean anything. It's not clumsiness, it's practice. Years of it. You catch her looking at her phone with that faint smile, the kind that isn't for you. She flips it face down on the table, shrugs when you ask. You're paranoid. But you know she's done this dance too many times. Another clue? Her energy. When you try to connect, really connect, she's distant, restless, distracted. She wants excitement, not stability. Novelty, not depth. She thrives on chaos, because chaos is all she's ever known. And when life gets quiet, when love gets real, she grows cold, bored, maybe even hostile. Because she's never learned how to build. She's only ever learned how to burn. And the final nail in the coffin? She doesn't even try to hide her contempt. She might sit across from you, look you in the eye, and smirk. Do you really think you're any different? You're just another guy. And I already know how this ends. That's not love. That's not respect. That's someone who has been through so many men, she can no longer see any of them as human beings. Just numbers. Just placeholders. Just steps in her endless game. Her everyday behavior betrays her. Her casual cruelty, her cynicism, her dismissive tone. It all screams the same truth. She's been here before, too many times. And to her, you're not special. You're just next. When a woman has had too many men in her past, it always shows in the way she handles conflicts. Instead of solving problems, she uses every argument as an opportunity to destroy you with words. And the most dangerous part, you can hear the experience in her voice. Years of practice fighting with other men. She knows exactly where to strike to make it hurt the most. In a normal fight, you might hear lines like, "You're not even the best I've had." "Men like you never amount to anything." "I've seen hundreds like you. You're all the same." These aren't random insults. They're the imprint of her past. She doesn't see you as unique. She throws you into the same category as every man she's been with before. In conflicts, such a woman acts cold and cynical. She's not looking for understanding. She's looking for victory. Her goal is to humiliate you until you start doubting your own worth. She deliberately digs into your weak spots, your insecurities, your past failures, your fears. And she does it all with that sinister smile on her face. That's when it becomes clear. She's not fighting with you. She's fighting with every man that came before you, and you're just playing the role of her next victim. Another major sign is her lack of fear of losing you. In the heat of an argument, she'll throw lines like, "You want to leave? The door's right there. I'll be fine." Or even worse, "Don't think I'll ever be alone. Men are always lining up. I can always find someone better." This shows not only her disregard for you, but her belief that men are an endless resource, disposable, replaceable, interchangeable. The scariest part of these conflicts is her emotional coldness. While you're boiling with anger or drowning in pain, she can sit across from you calmly sipping coffee or even smirking like nothing is happening. For her, it's not a crisis, it's entertainment, and she knows that eventually you'll be the one to break first. Women like this never play the game of, "Let's fix this together." They only play the game of, "Let's see who wins." And if, during an argument, you feel like your words mean nothing, like she's not speaking to you, but to the image of all men everywhere, then know this. You're dealing with a woman who sees you not as a partner, but as just another number in her endless list. One of the clearest signs a woman has been with too many men is how she talks about loyalty, or rather, how little it means to her. For her, faithfulness isn't sacred, it's optional, something she expects from you, but never truly gives back herself. You'll notice it in the way she reacts when the topic comes up. If you ask her about exclusivity, she laughs. "Relax. Nobody really stays loyal anymore." Or she shrugs. "It's just part of life. People get bored. Everyone cheats sooner or later." To her, cheating isn't betrayal. It's normal. And if you press the subject, she flips it back on you. Why are you so obsessed with this? Do you have trust issues? It's not about trust. It's about her refusing to value what should matter. The same happens with jealousy. When you feel uneasy because of her suspicious behavior, her constant texting, the late nights, the vague friends she never introduces you to, instead of reassuring you, she mocks you. Wow, you're jealous? That's so insecure. Real men don't act like that. But notice something. She'll use jealousy against you. If she wants attention, she'll deliberately flirt with others in front of you. If she wants control, she'll bring up another man just to watch your reaction. And when you finally do react, she'll smirk and say, "See, you're paranoid. That's exactly what I mean." It's a trap, a cycle she sets up so that no matter what you do, you look weak, unstable, or controlling, while she plays innocent. Another dangerous sign is her double standard. She can flirt, vanish, and keep secrets. But the moment you so much as glance at another woman, she explodes. Suddenly, she's the one raging about loyalty, screaming about betrayal. In her world, faithfulness is a one-way street. You owe it to her, but she owes nothing in return. And here's the truth. A woman who has cycled through too many men loses the ability to see loyalty as valuable. Why would she? She's burned through so many connections that she views all of them as temporary, disposable, interchangeable. So, when you notice her laughing at loyalty, mocking jealousy, twisting your concerns into weaknesses, it's not just attitude. It's experience speaking. It's the mark of someone who has already crossed every boundary too many times to ever respect them again. The final and most dangerous sign is this. She doesn't see men as individuals anymore. She sees them as disposable. Her words give it away. If you don't do it, someone else will. There are always other options. You're not that special. She doesn't care about building, about protecting what she has, because in her mind, men are an endless resource. One leaves, another arrives. One breaks, another fills the space. This attitude is the result of repetition. Too many encounters, too many short-lived connections. She's trained herself to never value one man too much, because there's always another waiting in line. And that's why she'll never truly commit, because commitment requires respect, and respect dies the moment you start seeing people as interchangeable.